Greetings, it's Eric Backer, New Zealand naturopath, author of Candida Crusher, and formulator of the CanXida range of dietary supplements. Thanks for checking out my video. This is another case history. We're going to talk about a boy this time, a 6-year-old boy called John. John had major bowel problems, and Mum brought him to me because he was feeling very unwell. So I'm going to read a little bit out of my book, and then I'll explain a bit more. John is a pleasant young boy with a friendly smile. His mother brought him to me after spending over a year trying to ascertain what was wrong with him. He was having recurring digestive pains and constipation as well as asthma. As a baby, John was breastfed for 6 weeks before being placed on an infant formula containing cow's milk powder. John could not tolerate this formula too well. Then he was placed on an infant soy formula that was less problematic. He developed colic around 6 months of age and received his first round of antibiotics a few months later for ear infections. By the time John was 3 years old, he had received over a dozen rounds of antibiotics for recurring ear, nose and throat infections and was now in need of an inhaler and a steroid, preventative, because his pediatrician told his mother he had now asthma. This drug merry-go-round is all too common with children. I've seen it 1,000 times. I first set about getting John's diet right and placing him on my low allergy diet that you'll find in the Candida Crusher book. What typically occurs is that sweet cravings occur after antibiotics, as many beneficials have been destroyed and yeast start to multiply rapidly. So that's when the person starts to want to have sweet things. So the yeast wants feeding, and their host has no option but to give in to their demands. And so the sugar-laden diet begins. Soda drinks, fruit juice, candy, sweets, cookies, breakfast cereals laden with sugar, snack bars, any one of 100 sweet foods that kids like to eat. And they go to the supermarket and they pester mum for those foods. If you've got kids, you'll know all about this. It makes no difference. As long as it contains sugar, the yeast will be happy. The yeast will then thrive and multiply and get to be a bigger problem over time. Parents often give in, just to shut these kids up. The squeaky hinge gets the oil. It's really true. So we started using different things with John. John responded really well to my CanXida antifungal product. In fact, we had a very good result literally within a month of using CanXida. The asthma drugs were first to go, and I asked John's mother to avoid all antibiotics in the future, unless John suffered a serious bacterial infection like septicemia or bronchial pneumonia. After 4 months of treatment, all of John's symptoms were gone. His bowel was back to normal and all his pains were gone. Now, in cases like this, I've seen children even taken to the children's hospital for exploratory surgery because they couldn't work out where the bowel pains were coming from. All the blood tests came back okay, the endoscopy came back okay, everything came back clear, and the doctors are scratching their heads. Doctors never look for Candida. And in fact, some only believe it's a women's problem. I mean, how stupid is that? If you've got a child with a strong sugar craving, a child that scratches its backside a lot, that's quite whingy, that's crying, that's irritable, that's very bad-tempered, you could well have a parasite or a yeast infection on your hands. So think back carefully. Has this child had antibiotics? Is the child craving sweet foods? Is it looking for sugar? Is it pestering you for sweet foods when you go shopping? It's easy to spot a Candida infection in a child. Antibiotics are something you don't want to give to children. Okay, I've spoken about this many times in my videos. They're way too loosely prescribed. Children will sometimes get them for a cut or scratch on their finger. They're giving preventative antibiotics. It's a stupid thing to do. It can destroy the immune system. It can take years to recover from one round, and one round will lead to a second round and a third round. It's a ridiculous thing to do. It's like giving extended credit on top of credit. It's what caused the ruin of America when you think about it. This borrowing money on top of money on top of money that doesn't even exist. And look what happened with the global financial crisis. Well, this is what's happening with people every day with antibiotics. They're going through an immune crisis. They're destroying their bodies. I might sound passionate about this. That's because I am. Okay, my children have never received antibiotics, and my daughter's 21 now, and my youngest son's 14. I've got 4 children. I just don't believe in antibiotics. I just think they're a scourge. So there are alternatives. Remember that. There are many alternatives. And natural antifungals will not destroy beneficials. Okay, you're not going to have to rely on them or depend on them. They do their job. They do their job well, and then you can rely on a good diet. So I hope that gives you a bit of insight into cases like John. There's thousands of Johns out there. Alice's and John's, I see them all the time. Children that age, 6, 7, 8, right up to 14, ear infections, throat infections. And there are many natural treatments you can use that help to, build these children's immune systems up. Check out yeastinfection.org. If you haven't already done so, you can do my yeast infection quiz at candidacrusher.com. ericbacker.com has got many more articles on it. You can check out more videos on this channel. And don't forget, I also create one of the world's best antifungal range of products called CanXida with an X. Thanks for tuning in.